Okay, welcome to today's lesson on geometric sequences. And we've been discussing these in class, and we're going to go through and talk a little bit about a geometric sequence. Now remember, a geometric sequence is a sequence of numbers in which we multiply from one term to get to the next. So say I had the term 3, 12, 48, and so on. Okay. Well, for each term, what we're doing here is we're multiplying by 4 to get to the next term. We're multiplying by 4 to get to the next term. And so when we multiply by 4 each time, we can come up with it. And all geometric sequences are of the form t sub n equals, and then we have to have our 0th term. Right? We have to have our 0th term. So in this instance, we have to have the term before this. Well, if I have the term before this, 3 to get to here, I had to multiply by 4. So to go back, I have to divide by 4. And so my first term is going to be 3/4. So I'm going to have 3/4, okay, and that's my 0th term. And then times my generator. Now my generator is what we multiply by. Here's 4. Right? So that's our generator. And then raised to the nth power. Right? So that's a way that we can go through and take a look at what we would have. Right? So here's term number 1, term number 2, term number 3. So term number 4 is going to be 48 times 4, which is 192. Would be my 4th term. Well, my explicit equation, I should be able to find that as well. So I should be able to find the 4th term of the sequence is equal to 3/4 times 4 to the 4th power. Right? So here I have 4 to the 4th power. 4 is 16 times 4 is 64 times 4 is 256. So 3/4 times 256. Right. So 4 goes into 256. I believe it's 64. And then 3 times 64 is 192, which is what we discovered up here. Right. So 192, 192. So we would have that. Right. So let's take a look at another sequence. Let's take a look at another sequence that we would have here. All right. So let's take a look at a sequence like, let me think here. Three, -6, 12, -24, 48. Right? We can clearly see here that we're multiplying by a -2 each time. We're multiplying by a -2 each time. So we need to come up with our sequence here. So again, t sub n is equal to, and then we have to have our 0th term. So we got to figure out what we're going to have here, right? If we're multiplying by a -2 each time, right, that means I have to divide by a -2. So this is going to be -3/2 is going to be my 0th term. Right, if we go backwards one term, right, times my generator here, I'm multiplying by a -2, right, to the nth power. And again, that is my generator. Another way that we can write these, and now this is what's called an explicit equation. We can also write this as a recursive equation. And a recursive equation is, once we know one term, how can we find the next? So t sub n plus 1 means that's the next term. The n plus 1 implying what is the next term is equal to t sub n, right, times a -2. So we're taking whatever our previous term was and multiplying it by a -2. And then in a recursive equation, you need to give one of the terms of the sequence. Well, t sub 1, our first term, is 3. Right? So we know one term, we know how to find the rest, and so that would be our recursive equation. Here we would have our explicit equation. I hope you find this useful in helping you when it comes to geometric sequences. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask one of the teachers here at Ashwaubenon High School. We'll be more than willing to help you.